Imagining a scenario where you were never born is a scary thought. A lot of us hold the belief that maybe the world would be better off without us, or it wouldn't change at all. It's interesting to think about, but what if you were actually given an opportunity to witness that scenario? The results may shock you. In the Rugrats episode, Chuckie's Wonderful Life, that's exactly what Chuckie experiences. After unintentionally isolating himself from his friends, he starts to get down on himself. When he asks for advice from Angelica of all people, she says perhaps one of the worst things you could ever say to someone.
There are two kinds of people in this world. People who make things better, people like me, and people who just seem to get in the way, people like you. Bottom line is, we'd all be a lot better off without you.
Chuckie blindly believes everything she said. He uses nighttime as an opportunity to run away from home, assuming everyone would be better off without him. He doesn't get very far before an angel version of himself attempts to convince him to turn back, warning him that he's making a big mistake. Chuckie refuses to budge, so the angel shows him just how dark his town would be if he never existed. In this dimension, everyone's life is miserable without him. For instance, Chuckie's dad is lonely and depressed because he has no one to talk to, and Tommy is Angelica's slave because he doesn't have a friend to help boost his confidence. The world has turned into complete chaos, and although the results may seem a little exaggerated, when you start looking at life from this perspective, it really makes you think about your purpose for being here. People count on you for extremely specific reasons, and that's why it's important to start loving yourself and your unique characteristics. What's an absolutely scary thought is believing that you have no purpose, being on your deathbed, and then realizing at the last minute that you did have a purpose and that you didn't live your life the way you were supposed to. This realization is enough to motivate Chuckie, and he demands to return to his dimension. The episode concludes with a much more grateful Chuckie, who realizes there was nothing wrong about him at all. It was just an egotistic brat making him think otherwise. It's interesting. The amount of messages that I've gotten over the months from some of my viewers talking about how nobody loves them or something else depressing is heartbreaking, but none of that is true. It's all in our head because we allow specific people in our society to lower our confidence. We believe in what people who don't even understand us have to say, when the majority of it is petty nonsense created to lower our vibration. Deep down, you know you're important. It's just certain words that triggers your subconscious mind to believe otherwise. Now, here's the thing. Even when you realize this, some days are still just going to be crappy. That's just reality. Life is a never-ending circle. It's repetitive. You have your ups, you have your downs, then you have your ups, and now you're back down. And that goes on for weeks, months, years. Like, when does it all end? After contemplating this question for a while, the answer is actually pretty simple. It never does. That might sound depressing or whatever, but that belief is actually where the problem lies. We automatically assume that depression is bad. That's why we do whatever we can to run away from it. But it's inevitable. We're all going to have those days, those nights. A lot of us are trying to reach a never-ending state of happiness when it doesn't exist. I guess what I'm trying to say is, sometimes you might not feel okay, but that's okay. Feelings are not bad. Emotions are not bad. And it's not being able to express our emotions that's causing the depression to get worse and worse. With that being said, start being aware of your emotions. Don't try to judge it, don't try to change it, but instead learn to love it. Yes, learn to love depression. I'm serious, because what is happiness without sadness? So don't let those negative thoughts defeat you, because the world needs you.